March 18, 2025, in a high-stakes geopolitical maneuver, President Trump awaited a critical call with Putin. However, the Kremlin kept Trump waiting for over an hour, a calculated display of power. When the call finally commenced, it stretched nearly 2 hours, delving into the complexities of the war. Promises were made, but within hours, Russian drones targeted Ukrainian hospitals. What transpired in that conversation? How did President Zelenskyy react? And what does this mean for Ukraine's future? I'm Slavie, this is channel Yarochenko. Welcome. The call began with a power move. Putin kept Trump waiting for over an hour, reflecting his strategic dominance. Once connected, the leaders discussed Ukraine. Trump sought a full ceasefire, but Putin agreed only to a 30-day halt on attacks targeting energy infrastructure, sidestepping peace. Putin demanded the end of Western military aid to Ukraine, a condition the US did not accept.
I think the Kremlin media actually stated that he demanded an immediate cessation of aid to Ukraine in order to get to this multi-step deal.
No, he didn't. We didn't talk about aid. Actually, we didn't talk about aid at all. We talked about a lot of things, but aid was never discussed.
The White House framed the call as a step forward toward peace, emphasizing mutual interest in ending the war. Conversely, the Kremlin underscored Russia's security concerns and Ukraine's reliability. Can't make this up. Trump said, "We had a very good and productive conversation."
And I think we had a great call. It lasted almost 2 hours. Talked about a lot of things and toward getting it to peace. And we talked about other things also.
Russia lied again. Just hours after Putin's ceasefire promise, Russia unleashed 115 drones on Ukrainian cities overnight, deliberately targeting civilian infrastructure. A hospital in Sumy was severely damaged. Doctors scrambled to evacuate patients. Residential buildings in Kyiv suburbs burned. Infrastructure in Dnipro and Chernihiv was heavily damaged, causing widespread outages. Putin explicitly promised no attacks. Yet here we are. Why believe a single word from Russia? This was a calculated terror, not a mistake.
Only Putin's assurances and words that he is giving orders not to hit the energy sector are not enough. And the example of yesterday's strike after Putin's words that there would be no strikes on the energy sector is another example. He said he had given the order not to strike civilian infrastructure as well. After that, there were 145 drones, 4 S-300 missiles, 2 Iskander ballistic missiles. The strikes targeted Sumy, Kherson, Zaporizhia, Donetsk, Kharkiv, and Chernihiv regions, agricultural production, the railway in the Dnipro region, and 21 ordinary houses were hit. This is the value of Putin's words.
After Russia's drone assault, President Zelenskyy and Trump spoke for an hour on March 19th. They discussed a ceasefire ending the war and safeguarding Ukraine's energy infrastructure, focusing heavily on Trump's conversation with Putin. Zelenskyy requested additional US-made Patriot missile systems. Trump promised to expedite finding available Patriots in Europe. Trump suggested the best protection for Ukraine's energy infrastructure is American ownership of Ukraine's power plants. The White House confirmed continued U.S. intelligence sharing. This is a vital element in defending against Russian attacks.
And what do we lose if there is no American intelligence data? For example, we lose the accuracy of the direction or launch of the ballistic missiles. Why does Putin need this if he doesn't want to kill us? It suggests that he wants us to not receive information when ballistic missiles are flying at Ukrainian civilians, because ballistic missiles hit civilian infrastructure. So he wants us to not know about these attacks. This means that our people do not make it to the bomb shelter in time. So this all indicates a continuation of the war. That's why I don't think we should make any concessions in terms of helping Ukraine.
Zelenskyy agreed to halt Ukrainian strikes on Russian energy infrastructure. He stated on X, one of the first steps towards ending the war could be ending strikes on civilian infrastructure. Ukraine confirmed we are ready to implement it. This conversation is more than diplomacy. It tests Trump's promise to end the war. Ukraine remains under relentless attack, air defenses strained. Will Trump's promises become actions, or is Ukraine being asked to stand down as Russia continues its attacks? Following Trump's and Zelenskyy's phone conversation, Ukraine came under Russian fire once more. About 30 explosions were heard in Kropyvnytskyi, with a population of 300,000 people. As promised, no more strikes on the energy system, but no one said anything about residential areas, right? Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, just shut down a State Department-backed program that tracked Russian forced abduction of Ukrainian children, one of the war's most horrific crimes. The program, run by Yale's Humanitarian Research Lab, documented over 20,000 children kidnapped. But officials admit the true figure is likely hundreds of thousands. It was the only US-funded effort documenting these abductions and collecting war crime evidence. Russia steals Ukrainian children, destroys their documents, erases their identities, and forces them into Russian culture. They're taught to hate Ukraine and even trained to fight against their own homeland. The ICC issued an arrest warrant for Putin over these exact crimes. Yet, Musk's DOGE terminated this vital program, complicating efforts to rescue these children and hold Russia accountable. Stealing children isn't just a crime, it's genocide, explicitly defined by the Genocide Convention as an attempt to erase a nation. Who benefits from this move? Not Ukraine, not justice, Russia. Russia continues abducting children, and now the US just made it that much easier for them. Meanwhile, frustration is rising. Nearly half of Americans say US isn't doing enough for Ukraine. 2/3 support increased military aid if Russia violates a ceasefire, according to a March 18th Gallup poll. 46% of Americans now say US assistance is insufficient, up to 16% since December. Those thinking aid is excessive, 30%, or sufficient, 23%, are declining. 79% Democrats want increased support. 46% independents agree. Just 12% Republicans support increasing aid. The Trump administration has approved no new military aid packages for Kyiv. Current shipments were all authorized under Biden. Will Trump deliver real support and end the war? Or has Ukraine been told to hold back while Russia keeps striking? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I always try to reply to every one of your comments. If you stand for truth, justice, and resilience against tyranny and want more frequent updates, you can help keep this channel going. Every contribution helps cover production costs and ensures these stories reach more people. The links are in the description box below. I have some very exciting news as well. The channel is in the monetization process. You can now support Yarochenko through Super Thanks, and soon memberships with VIP perks and a merch store will arrive as well. Look out for polls to choose your favorite merch designs. I'll give you a hint. Words: Baba Yaga. Got merch ideas as well or preferences? Let me know in the comments. We couldn't have done this without you. To everyone who donated, shared, and liked and watched, thank you. You are why this channel grows. Keep supporting. Let's spread the truth. Comment, like, and subscribe right now. It's small, but has a huge impact. I'm Slavie, and this is Channel Yarochenko. Thank you for watching, and as always, God bless America, those fighting for freedom, justice, and democracy, and of course, Slava Ukraini.